Boxer versus brawler. King Kenny will try and stay behind his jab and circle away, whereas Anthony Taylor has that seek and destroy mission.
Well, it's clear what the game plan should be for Anthony Taylor. He's got to get as close as he can. King Kenny said, I'll make this a fight if he wants to. I think Anthony Taylor wants to make this a fight. I think it's the only way that he can win.
First round.
Look at the focus.
Oh,
Stop.
Well, they're seek and destroy.
Interesting.
Yes.
So Kenny's got to get out of this onslaught early. He'd be wise just to play a little defense here, Mams.
Absolutely. I mean, Anthony ran at him like a freight train. I thought he was going to come out with a flying knee.
We have fans literally watching all over the world. If you don't know what they're saying here in the arena, it's Kenny as loud as they can.
Right hand from Taylor. He likes that dirty boxing. He likes to put his forehead right on your chest and bang away at your rib cage. You know, Anthony Taylor was making fun of King Kenny's hair all week. What's the verdict, Mams?
I think we have no trim Kenny, which is good luck for him, apparently.
Let him go, Kenny. See it.
There's the corner of the pretty boy looking on.
Man, I like the fact that you've made some of these fights 5- and 6-rounders instead of 3, because you can really start to see who the better fighters are.
Well, these are title fights. This is for the Misfits Boxing Light Heavyweight Championship. Has to be 5 rounds.
There you go.
A minimum.
Stop.
Anthony Taylor was able to basically confuse Salt Poppy in his fight. Poppy just couldn't figure him out, and it may take Kenny a little while to do so, too.
Well, Taylor said he doesn't mind being the shorter fighter, and sometimes when you're a really tall fighter and you have to fight somebody shorter than you, that can take a little while to really get the distance that you need.
Yes, this fight, the key is definitely distance. Anthony Taylor closing it well, getting in there early, backing up and throwing that overhand right, hoping it'll hit. But Kenny doesn't seem too phased so far. More of a feeling out round this one.
I'm surprised Kenny hasn't gotten behind that jab. He's so good at it.
I think Anthony's done everything to take that jab away from him, Tom.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He hasn't allowed him to, but as we've seen in the fights previous, guys start to slow down. So Grisham, to your point, if Kenny can just get out of this first round, maybe he can establish that moving forward.
Kenny does have one of the best jabs on Misfits Boxing.
How much have you've been here, obviously you started this entire operation. How much better have both of these guys gotten in your mind?
Significantly. Anthony has a team that tries to implement a game plan now, and he really sticks to it. And Kenny, just unbelievable. Like I said, technically probably the most improvement.
There's the aerial view here at the AO Arena in Manchester, packed to the gills, sold out within minutes when tickets were available. The hottest ticket in a while for Boxing Anywhere.
That's absolutely right. Here we go.
For round 2, this is for the light heavyweight championship in Misfits. Still waiting for Kenny to wake up. That left hand of Taylor might have gotten his attention.
A lot of dirty boxing, this one. Nothing clean about it so far.
It really isn't. Kenny's really starting to hold Taylor a lot. So I think Taylor's strategy and the fact that he's kind of bum rushing him at the beginning of every round is really starting to make Kenny uncomfortable.
King Kenny, known, of course, as part of the Beta Squad. What is it about that unit that's gotten so much publicity, so much love?
I mean, they are one of the most popular YouTube groups in the world, and certainly in the UK, and the fan base is rallying behind them. You know, it's one of their own, all of them are here, so you're just going to get a crazy support system for Kenny, which AT lacks, but I think AT thrives off the booing as well. He loves to play the villain.
Was that part of the strategy when you started Misfits, was to, because you have half of your events in the United States, another half over here in the UK, to really bring fighters from everywhere to Misfits?
You know, I know a heel when I see one. I know when someone's going to play that role well, and certainly AT does it very well. I mean, yesterday he was at the weigh-ins talking about, not talking nice things about Manchester. I'm surprised he didn't put down their football team.
Well, it's the first weigh-in, Gris, I've ever seen that needed a cage. So you know you got your heel of baby faces.
Yeah, I was going to say, you talk about a heel, Dylan Dennis is the epitome of a heel. He has really gotten under Logan Paul's skin, and I honestly don't know what's going to happen when that bell rings tonight in the co-main event.
It's, honestly, I think the pent-up aggression from Logan, does he let that get to him? Does that affect the fight? How does it affect the fight? Because normally you want to stay composed and relaxed and not let the emotions get to you, but how do you not after all this crazy build-up?
And expenses are always something you have to watch. I'm guessing security is one of your major expenses for this event.
Yes, security has been upped by 3 times here.
There's the Beta squad watching on, waiting for King Kenny to get him excited about something.
Say what you want about crossover, influence, or whatever you want to call it, but they roll together. Wherever one of them is fighting, the whole group is there.
Good right hand from Taylor. Yeah, Kenny holding a lot. He's still just trying to figure this juggernaut out.
I think if he started using his movements and his footwork instead of trying to hold, that would not only wear Taylor down, but it would allow him more space.
Would like to see some more clean-cut action here. I'm not going to lie. I don't.
Me too.
That's the problem sometimes.
Almost 10 seconds.
If you weren't able to hear into the corner of King Kenny there, Coach, they were giving him the riot act, saying, you've got to push this guy back. You can't be scared. You can't hold. You got to bully him.
But then when he went back, he said, but he's holding me. There's nothing I can do. King Kenny is very, very frustrated, and his corner is frustrated with him.
Yes, Daly, very, very passionate. One of the best coaches in this space. Will there be any significant adjustments here?
Let's remember, Misfits has only been around for a very short time. As you start to sign more fighters and you have your, what I call the OGs, they're going to continue to get better, but a lot of them are so new to boxing, they have to learn a lot of times on the fly.
That was a low blow, and Anthony Taylor being given time to recover. King Kenny shaking his head like, man, I didn't do nothing. Well, our last fight was between my mate Nate and Winderson Nunez, and King Kenny has beaten both of those fighters. So he wants to add Anthony Taylor to his resume, although he just ate a shot on the ear.
You know, one of the things I'm noticing is not just the holding that Taylor's doing, he has a much, much, much bigger advantage when it comes to his quickness.
Nobody punched. Take a step back.
Yes.
Well, King Kenny has the advantage of knowing that Anthony Taylor's going to have to bull rush him. So you catch him come in right there, and you catch him going out. Unfortunately, Kenny's just letting him bulldoze in without paying a price.
If he can back up, Mams, as Taylor's coming in and kind of catch him over the top, he could get a knockout that way. It has to be perfectly timed, but we've seen it many, many times.
There you go.
Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo,
There you
perfect
go.
example. That's what Kenny needs, is to have that counter ready.
Yeah, he's got to charge admission to get inside. Right now, there's nothing being paid by Taylor.
Anthony has discovered a rather boring strategy, but it is effective, and it's winning him fights.
But you want both. You want strategy and action.
I do, I really do. I'll have to have a word with him after this.
You know, speaking of Conor McGregor and celebrities are really into this thing tonight.
Oh, yes.
I'm sure you had a lot of ticket requests.
Yes, I believe there were some guys from Twilight that I thought you might be excited about.
Well, Grisham, not so much me.
Oh.
My daughters would love anything Twilight related, trust me. And what I've been excited about, Mams, you know I get to call all the big boxing events on DAZN, but when you look at the crowd here, it is much younger and much more diverse, especially the male to female ratio, than you see at most boxing events.
Oh, yes. You've got all walks of life here. You've got people from all different countries. You've got the Brazilians. There was Thai fans for my mate Nate. Obviously, lots of people have traveled far and wide to get here.
And let's be honest, when you're promoting a boxing event, I live near Los Angeles. It was an 11-hour flight. Everybody's talking about no matter where you come from.
All right, we're about to check in with Olivia as we wind down round number 3. Olivia, we continue on here live from Deanchester, England. Kenny versus Taylor.
If people haven't seen the first Dean the Grey Wally Sharks fight, you missed a banger. These two guys don't like each other, and they are ready to go today.
Oh, we just missed a nice 3-piece combo there from Anthony. I think he's shifting strategies.
Well, he needs to.
Well, I disagree. I mean, to me, Taylor's won every round. Or you said Kenny needs to change
No,
something?
I think Taylor needs to if he wants to have Mams happy and really show the judges not only can he get in a dirty box, but he can also land from the outside.
Todd, I'm a man of the people. We need to keep them entertained
You're
here.
damn right.
Well, hey, I think Anthony's doing his part when you got a 10-inch reach disadvantage. Hey, that might be karma, trying to take advantage of Taylor slipping, and then Kenny slipping. Hey, you can't blame the little guy for trying to get inside, bang away. What do you want him to do?
No, the strategy I'm saying is fine, but this isn't just regular boxing. This is about entertainment and making the people want to come back, and that is not the right strategy for that.
And that's one of the issues with having more rounds. More time to settle, you take your time.
Oh, good right hand for Taylor on the way in.
Oh.
Stop! Keep that momentum. Keep that momentum. 1 point.
Whoa, taking a point away from King Kenny for holding, ma'am. See, it's not Taylor's fault. Kenny's cheating, ma'am. Cut the guy some. I know he's the heel, but geez. Either way, King Kenny has got to do something different and quick.
Yes. And Daly has been screaming at him in the corner. Passionately, really knows he's got to make some changes.
I feel like it's in his head right now because every time he gets yelled at, he comes back with, but he's holding me, but he's holding me. You got to be stronger than that. You got to be better than that.
He's boxing in a frustrated manner, and he's got to overcome that if he wants to win this fight.
He's got to be first. Like when they're at distance right here, King Kenny should be leading this charge right now. Right now, throw a jab, step in. Instead, he waits for Taylor to bull rush him, and then he holds.
And then Taylor knows that nothing's going to come back at him. To your point.
There we go.
But it is such an awkward style to deal with. A seasoned professional wouldn't have much trouble with Anthony Taylor, but King Kenny has only had 6 fights in his life.
They do say styles make fights, so I think the urgency has to kick in at this point.
All the talking's going to stop tonight because he has to step in against Logan Paul.
A very agitated and angry Logan Paul.
Oh!
There goes Taylor again. Was that a knockdown? Let's say no, a push.
Slipping around like it's an ice skating rink here. But Kenny...
Now Kenny's showing some life.
It's got to click.
Now he's starting to let his hands go a little bit.
He's got to get angry. He's got to get mad.
Yes. He's having trouble knowing how far to circle his feet around when Anthony storms in. Oh, chasing.
Taylor on the run.
Now here's what I don't want. I don't want Taylor to think he has to fight one and then not fight for the 5th round. Stay engaged.
Again, this is for the light heavyweight championship.
And I feel like we're beating a dead horse, but Kenny simply will not change his strategy. He will not move. He will not back up, and thus he's landing nothing.
He's got to circle his feet around and anticipate Anthony's entrance a little bit more. calculated manner, and he's got to throw that punch in and time it. The accuracy is missing. He's frustrated, but he did try at the beginning of the round. So he's just got to keep that energy.
And keep in mind, he was deducted a point for holding as well. So he needs, if not just a knockdown, he probably needs a knockout to win this fight.
Oh, I agree with you. I don't think there's any way right now he wins this fight without a knockout in the final 90 seconds.
Well, hey, 2 of his 4 wins have come by KO 50%, so he's done it before. And now with the title on the line, he has to do it again.
Anthony Taylor is a tough man to knock out. You know, many predicted that Kenny would win this on decision.
Are you surprised at what you've seen?
You know, what can you never know what you're going to get, but I think we were all hoping for that technical improvement from Kenny to be implemented in this fight.
And Taylor just hasn't allowed him to show it. And that is a really good thing that a boxer can do, especially one with not a ton of history, I guess I should say.
Yeah, look, Anthony Taylor, like I said, he's got a strategy and it's working. So to his credit, he's doing what he needs to do to get the win.
Bouncing on his toes. Kenny comes in with his gloves up by his ears. He's got to roll the dice. Jermell Charlo would not do it against Canelo. He just simply wouldn't try and win it at the end when he knew what he had to do. Let's see if Kenny was willing to go out on his shield here.
That's a great analogy. Sometimes fighters just either A, get tired, or they just get to a point where they say, I can't beat this guy. And I wonder if Kenny's at that point.
There's a swing and a miss with 10 seconds to go. Can we see a miracle from King Kenny? The crowd would love it.
He's got to take those chances.
But
he
it
has to.
Wasn't his night. Anthony Taylor, to his credit, completely discombobulated King Kenny.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored about 49 to 45. And your winner by unanimous decision and the new Misfits Boxing Light Heavyweight World Champion, Anthony the Pretty Boy Taylor!